Hello everyone and welcome back to another video for 160s and below for beginner builds. And honestly, this build can actually work out really well above, for vet content in general. Um, and this build will cost you less than, this is no crafted sets, it is no dungeon drops, it is all overland sets. Well, I guess there is a two-piece in there that is crafted. Um, so outside of that, you can buy all this stuff for less than 25k. I went through Guild Trader after Guild Trader to check it out, and I wrote down what I found, and you can literally buy all this for less than 25k. Now, onto the stat sheets. I have 11.4k health. That is really low. Let me eat some food first, real quick. Okay, so 17.1k max health, 31.3k max stamina. Stamina recovery is 889. Stam is relatively low, but I am a Khajiit, so what I lack in stamina, I make up for in crit. Weapon damage is 3k, weapon crit is 51.3. I have 4 points in health and 60 into stamina. The boon I'm running is the warrior. Now, if you want more stamina, by all means, you can replace this with max stamina. I don't want to say the wrong one, make myself sound like an idiot here. But I'm running the warrior, and you can replace it also with the thief if you want more weapon crit. You can replace it with the lover if you feel like you want more penetration. It's entirely up to you. And basic food like I'm running basically buy set food. Now, sets I'm running. The first 5-piece set that I'm running is Red Mountain. Now, I'm running an axe and a sword. If you are not a Khajiit, I highly recommend running a dagger. But dagger is a relatively expensive one, and that will run you. That will probably move the build up cost from 25k to 25-30k to, probably 60k. Dagger is still relatively expensive, but swords work just as good getting started out. Axe, you can find them for 10k, 10-12k. And your weapons will be your most expensive pieces. Bows, not so much. They're relatively cheap as well. Axe of the Red Mountain. I'm running a precise poison damage enchant. Main hand, offhand, infused sword with a weapon damage enchant. And back bar, bow of the Red Mountain precise with a poison damage enchant. Now, what Red Mountain does, gives you weapon damage, max stamp, weapon crit. When you do damage with a weapon ability, you have a 10% chance to spawn a volcano that erupts after 1 second, launching liquid hot magma at the closest enemy, dealing 8.9k flay damage. This effect can occur once every 2 seconds. This is absolutely brutal. Now, the other setup, the two-piece set that I'm running is mechanical acuity, heavy helm for the 511, or not really the 5-1, but the 6-1. Because I don't run a light on the medium armor. Heavy helmet, if you divines, what the two-piece does, I run a helmet and a shoulder, medium shoulder. And what it does is it just gives you some weapon damage. Now, as you get monster sets that gives you max stamina, stamina recovery, or Krogs, which gives you penetration, you could definitely start dropping these pieces for them. But until then, two-piece mechanical acuity will work just fine. Now, the second 5-piece set that I'm running is Jacket of Unfathomable Darkness. Running it all on the body, all divines, all max stamina. What Unfathomable Darkness does is it gives you weapon crit, physical penetration, weapon damage, and when you do damage, you have a 10% chance to call a murder of crows around you for 12 seconds. Every 3 seconds, a crow will be sent to peck the closest enemy within 12 meters of you, dealing 4.8k physical damage. This effect can occur once every 15 seconds. And then I'm running Red Mountain Jewelry, all robust, all with weapon damage and chat. Now, I put up a build similar to this. I think it was like my second video ever. Monster set I was running with Celatrex because of that stun. But either way, still a good set. Both these sets with Unfathomable and Red Mountain still work wonders together, are still amazing, and I still use them today when I'm just wanting to go in and goof off. Skills. Deadly Cloak. Create a floating razors around you, dealing 2.1k physical damage to all nearby enemies every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. The razor shields you from shrapnel, reducing the damage you take from area effect attacks by 25%. You want to keep this up at all times. It will definitely keep you alive more so than anything else. Killer's Blade. This is your execute. Thrust a caustic. I don't know what that word is. Blade with lethal precision to stab an enemy, dealing 4.1k disease damage, deals 300% more damage to enemies below 25% health. Heals you for 20% of your max health if the enemy dies within 2 seconds of being struck. Power extraction. Siphon the vigor from your enemies Blood, dealing 5.1k disease damage to all nearby enemies. If any enemy is hit, you gain major brutality, increasing your weapon damage by 20% for 20 seconds. And basically, this is going to be our major brutality because we have good crit. So we're not, it's 51%. It's not the highest, but it is a good crit number. So we're still using trash pots. What this is going to do is going to save us on weapon pots. So this is just going to give us our major brutality. Pop it once into a mob. We have it major brutality, 20 seconds, and go to town. Surprise attack remains spammable, dealing 8.2k physical damage and inflicting it with major fracture, which reduces their physical resistance by 5.2k for 17.3 seconds. You're not really going to be sneaking or invisible when you're in a dungeon. Running slashes. Slash an enemy with both weapons to cause deep laceration, dealing 2.3k physical damage with each weapon, and causing them to bleed for an additional 10.2k physical damage over 9 seconds. It also reduces their movement speed by 40% during the duration. Then we're using Dawnbreaker. Arm yourself with Maria's Sacred Sword and dispense her retribution, dealing 10.6k physical damage to enemies in front of you and an additional 12.2k physical damage over 5 seconds. While slot, your weapon damage is increased by 5%. Now, if you don't have your Fire Zeal at level 10, so you don't have Dawnbreaker, don't worry about it. You can put end cap on your front bar, and then put on your bow bar, you can put either Toxic Barrage or Ballista. I would recommend Ballista with this setup. I was trying to poison build out there for a little while, so I haven't morphed this back to Ballista. But I run end cap anyways on the back bar. But anyways, onto the back bar. Again, might as well. End cap on the back bar for every enemy with a spinning attack, dealing 11.8k disease damage, stun them for 4.5 seconds. Increase your damage against them by 20% for 6 seconds. Also flex enemy with major defile, reducing their healing received and health recovered by 30%. When I go into a dungeon, if I have a huge pool of trash, I'll use Dawnbreaker. When the trash is gone and it's just a bob left, I'm switching to end cap. That's the best method to burn stuff down. End cap. They will take a ton of damage against them from everybody. No, just your damage now. Increasing your damage against them by 20% for 6 seconds. That is a lot, and it is monstrous. Endless Hell. Launch multiple arrows into the sky to rain down, dealing 1.1k physical damage to enemies in the target area every 0.5 seconds for 10 seconds. Keep this up at all times. You definitely, this will make fights go a whole lot faster with this up. Poison Injection, dealing 4.5k poison damage and an additional 8.6k poison damage over 10 seconds. Damage over time deals up 260% more damage to enemies under 50% health. Relentless Focus, build up deadly momentum to gain minor berserk and minor endurance, increasing your damage done by 8% and stamina recovery by 10% for 20 seconds. While active, hitting an enemy with 5 light or heavy attacks changes its ability into Assassin's Scourge, allowing you to fire a single shot from a spectral bow at an enemy to deal 14k disease damage. Legion Strikes, build your weapon with soul stealing power, causing your light and heavy attacks to heal you for 1.4k health, and restore 106 stamina for 20 seconds. You restore up to 4.2k additional stamina when the effect ends, based on the length of the time Legion Strike was active. Now, you definitely want to try to let this run down the whole 20 seconds. And as soon as it goes down, you want to try to get it right back up. It is always a must-have. Rearming Trap. It's a sharpened blade trap at your location, which takes 1.5 seconds to arm and lasts for 1 minute. When triggered, the trap deals 2.5k physical damage and an additional 6.8k physical damage over 6 seconds. Immobilizes the enemy for 6 seconds, grants you minor force, increase your critical damage done by 10%. After being triggered, the trap resets and can be triggered one more time. Now, back to this. Because we don't have a high stamina pool, so unless you have a heavy attack rotation going, to where at least every other rotation you're heavy attacking, if you don't keep this up, you are going to run out of resources very quickly. And it sucks, but that's part of the Khajiit. Part of being a Khajiit. Legion Strikes must definitely keep it up at all times. Keep it going. If you have Caltrops and Vigor, you can run Vigor on your front bar. You can get rid of Sap because if you're using weapon power pots. Put Vigor on your front bar, and then honestly, you just work it out however you feel best. But you can put Caltrops and Vigor on your bar. I would definitely drop Power Extraction for one, and then maybe get rid of Rearming Trap if you wanted to. That would be my suggestion to you. But if you feel like you want to go another way, by all means go too. But Caltrops and Vigor is always nice. Or you can just not bring Vigor along and just drop Power Extraction. Move your Relentless Focus to your front bar and then put Caltrops on the back bar. and you'll be just fine as well there. That'd be the best setup, honestly, if you have a good solid healer. If you don't have a good healer, then drop Power Extraction for Vigor and drop Rearmor Trap for Cow Drops. You know, just whatever the group calls for, whatever it's needed at the time. Champion points. Again, starting out, you probably want, you know, I'm not even max CP on this one, so you want to focus on Tenacity and Mooncalf for the most part, and then Warlord, Sprinter, Tumbling, Shadow Ward. You know, just fill them in to where you feel like they're best needed and best suited. Blues, Physical Weapon Expert, Master at Arms, Precise Strikes, Thermometer, Piercing, Mighty. You know, you're going to want to put a little bit in here, and then focus mostly on Mighty, Piercing, and Precise Strikes. Hardy, Element Defender is your main focus first, and then from there, you know, Spell Shield, Medium Armor Focus, Quick Recovery, you know, wherever you feel like you best need some extra support at. Now, fully buffed. You know, let's see. You know, weapon damage is going to jump to 3.6, weapon crits 54.3. So, it's not bad. Stamina recovery is 940, so it's definitely a nice overall set that you can still use in most vet dungeons, but it's definitely a good beginner build, and it is a very cheap build to get. So, as always, thank you for checking it out. I'm going to try to put out beginner builds for some tanks, healers, so on and so forth. So, until, you know, if you'd like to stick around, if you'd like to get that notification, make sure you subscribe. Until then, take care.